Muspelheim, helt is, råber falder ind, Jotun skaber af sig. Dinon, Gagab, Niflheim, Muspelheim, helt is, råber falder ind, Jotun skaber af sig. Dinon, Gagab, Niflheim, Muspelheim, helt is, råber falder ind, Jotun skaber af sig.
Alright, so let's talk about Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, because this game, it's kinda wild. Imagine if Skyrim had a baby with Dark Souls, and then that baby grew up in a nightmare version of King Arthur's world. That's the vibe here.
It's time to wake.
Alright, before we even get into the game itself, I want to shine a little light on the people behind it, because Fall of Avalon didn't just pop out of nowhere. It's being developed by Awaken Realms Digital, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because these folks originally made their mark in the board game world. Yeah, that's right, these are the same people behind the original Tainted Grail board game, which was this dark, haunting, brutally difficult, narrative-driven experience. It was super successful on Kickstarter, raised millions, and got a bit of a cult following. But here's the cool part. They didn't just stop at cardboard. They said, let's take this dark fantasy nightmare and bring it to life in a full-blown RPG. And that's where Fall of Avalon comes in. Now, Awaken Realms Digital is still kind of a small team by gaming industry standards. They're not some massive AAA studio with endless budgets, but honestly, that's part of the charm. You can tell they care. Like, they're not out here chasing trends or trying to pump out another soulless open world. They're actually building something unique, something they believe in, and it shows. They've been super transparent during development too. They listen to feedback, they patch fast, and they're not afraid to admit when something needs fixing. The game started in early access, and they've already done multiple overhauls to the UI, the combat, the quests, you name it. They're scrappy, but in the best way possible. And I've been talking to them behind the scenes a little bit too, like just normal people, passionate, slightly exhausted, and completely obsessed with the world they've built, and I respect the hell out of that. So, what exactly is Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon? Well, imagine if someone took the entire Arthurian legend, Knights of the Round Table, Excalibur, Camelot, and then absolutely ruined it in the best way possible. Like, stripped all the noble fairy tale shine off it, and replaced it with a rot, plague, and cosmic horror. That's the world you're stepping into. This isn't your chosen one saves the realm kind of story. Nope. In Fall of Avalon, Arthur is long dead, the land is falling apart, and humanity's last hope lies in ancient stone towers called menhirs that keep the madness at bay. You play as some nobody, literally a prisoner, tossed into this decaying world with nothing but a weapon, a hood, and no clue what's going on. And that's the point. This game wants you to be lost at first. It doesn't hold your hand. There's no glowing breadcrumb trail or loud NPC screaming, "Go here for your quest." You're just dropped into Avalon and told, survive, figure it out, piece things together. It's raw, it's immersive, and honestly, it feels kinda refreshing.
I can feel them in the weirdness. You must join me.
Gameplay-wise, it's a first-person open-world RPG, but with way more focus on atmosphere and storytelling than most. The quests are weird, the lore is thick, and everything feels just a little off. The world is constantly shifting thanks to the weirdness, a sort of cursed fog that messes with reality. You'll see a village 1 minute, and the next, it's just gone. Combat's gritty and heavy, more about timing and positioning than just spamming attacks. It's not flashy, but it's satisfying, especially when you get into a rhythm. You also get skill trees, crafting, alchemy, survival mechanics. It's a full package, just built with more heart than hype. And then there's the story. It's not just there to push you along, it matters. Choices stick, NPCs remember. Entire towns can change based on your actions. And it's all written with this creepy, poetic tone that pulls you deeper and deeper into the world. Think Dark Souls meets The Witcher, but dipped in despair. So, how's the community feeling about Tainted Tainted, Grail, Fall of Avalon. Honestly, it's been a pretty interesting ride. From what I've seen, people are kinda split, but in a good way. Like, this isn't some overhyped game that gets slammed because it didn't live up to a billion-dollar trailer. Nah. This is more like a weird indie album you randomly find and end up obsessed with, while your friend is like, yeah, it's cool, I guess. Let's start with the positive stuff. A lot of players are loving the throwback feel. It reminds them of Oblivion more than Skyrim, which might sound strange at first, but if you played both, you know what that means. Oblivion was weird, awkward, experimental, and also deeply immersive. That's kinda what Fall of Avalon taps into. It gives you space to explore without stuffing your face with icons and distractions every 5 seconds. People are saying, yo, this is the first time in years a game actually made me read the quests and think about where to go. Another thing that's getting a lot of praise is the world building. Like, yeah, it's rough around the edges. It's early access after all, but the atmosphere, chef's kiss. Players are saying the game nails that eerie, unsettling vibe that modern RPGs don't even try to pull off anymore. It's grim, it's hopeless, and it's weirdly beautiful. Now, on the flip side, there are folks who've bounced off it. Some say the combat feels clunky, or that there's too much walking without enough happening, which, fair. It's not a power fantasy where you're dual-wielding lightning swords 5 minutes in. It's slow, it's heavy, and it definitely won't be for everyone. But here's the thing, even most of the people giving it mixed reviews still say, but I'm really curious to see where it goes. And that says a lot. The devs have been super active in the community too, taking feedback, patching things fast, and openly talking about what's coming next. That's helped build this weird little core fan base of players who are kinda rooting for the game to succeed. It's got that scrappy underdog energy, you know? So yeah, the reception is cautiously optimistic. Not perfect, not polished, but different. And sometimes different is exactly what this genre needs. Let's talk timing. Tainted Grail. Fall of Avalon officially leaves early access and launches into full 1.0 on May 28, 2025. That's the big day. Full game, all content. No more early access label. The devs have been grinding to get it ready, and based on what I've seen so far, yeah, it's looking good. Now here's the fun part. I actually have a review copy early. Yup, pre-launch access. That means I've been playing the final version ahead of time, and I'm working on putting together a full review that'll drop before release day. I'm not under any kind of sponsorship or paid deal here. The devs didn't slip me any gold coins or ask for a positive review. I just reached out, had a few conversations, and they said, sure, here's a copy. We like what you're doing. So what you'll get from me is 100% honest. If something sucks, I'll say it. If something rules, I'll scream about it. And actually, we're working on a little extra for you all too. So here's the deal. I asked the devs if we could run a small giveaway for the community once the game launches. Just a little something to give back to the people watching, commenting, supporting, all of you. Nothing fancy, nothing sponsored, just a favor I asked, and they were cool enough to consider it. Still waiting on final confirmation and how many copies I can give out. But once the game's out and I have the green light, I'll be making a post or video with the giveaway details. So if you've been following the coverage, or if you've been curious about Fall of Avalon but didn't want to commit, this might be your shot.
At last, the age of resurrections shall end, and then the once and future king will I can drip, drip, after drip,